We had one more stop to make before heading north to KHE SANH, a Buddhist orphanage just across the Perfume River. Glenn Prentice had wanted to do something he couldn't do 32 years before: give something back. After seeing so much destruction in the past, he spoke of a need or a feeling to help these people. Glenn had raised $4,000 before making this trip, money that would be used to purchase supplies for the orphanage. In order to provide humanitarian assistance in Vietnam, it's imperative that you go through the proper channels. We met with the People's Committee, the government agency responsible for Hue Province. They had implemented a program designed to help the homeless children and handicapped people of Hue. It was run by a man in his mid-50s, a man who had once served his country for a different purpose, as a soldier in the North Vietnamese army.
Don't we, Sergeant?
That is not, that's in the middle.
Corporal?
There is captain, but that one is a little.
Oh, Lieutenant.
Yeah, Lieutenant. Yeah, that's right, Lieutenant.
The number of homeless children in Vietnam is staggering. Nearly 35,000 in Hue Province alone. 317 of them live here, many of them newborns, abandoned by their mothers because they couldn't afford to keep them. The average Vietnamese person earns a mere $40 a month, barely enough to provide for one person, let alone an entire family. $4,000 bought enough supplies to last this orphanage for 6 months. These children are the lucky ones. The nuns care for them, teach them a trade, and educate them as best they can, something the streets could never provide.
Want to talk?
My wife? My wife? My wife?
Two former enemies side by side, men who had once fought for a different purpose, a war that tore this country apart. Today, in the year 2000, they were brought together again. But this time it was for something good, helping put Vietnam back together. KHE SANH, remote, lush. The French had come to KHE SANH at the turn of the century, carving out a road that would later be called Route 9. The war had claimed many lives here, but today KHE SANH is different. It's quiet, peaceful. The majority of people in KHE SANH have no memory of the war. Many of them weren't even born yet, but they know the history. They know why Americans are returning.
When you come back in the country?
5 days ago.
Oh, 5 days ago, long time.
Right. We'll be here in KHE SANH for 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Right. We're going to go up on the hills in the jungle.
Yeah.
Dung is just 20. He was born and raised in KHE SANH. After serving his mandatory 2 years in the Vietnamese army, he enrolled at the university in Hue. He was home for the summer working for his father. But most of the time, he just hung around with us, practicing his English.
You like?
Yes, I like.
Good.
It book have English, I like too. Yeah. When in the afternoon, I watching television in the news in the world. Yeah, they say some people in Vietnamese say English, speak English in television.
Right.
Yeah, I listen. Yeah. If I don't know, I ask my teacher. Yeah.
Well, now you have that one.
Yeah. It's good.
The siege at KHE SANH lasted 77 days. Days that Dennis described as hell on earth. It's different now, but the scars still show. A monument stood at the edge of the base. It was hard for everyone to read its inscription. Words that spoke of American lives, lost in a pointless struggle for freedom. A short distance away stood a one-room museum filled with the relics of war. An M16, AK-47, a combat boot.
Yeah, American, yeah.
And that is what?
All of us.
We all signed a book that sat on a table in the center of the room, paying homage to those who never came home.
I had emotions about being there because I spent Christmas in '67 there, but there was nothing there that you could say, this is where I was, this is exactly where I was. Nothing. There's not a thing there that would let you know that. You can still see the, like more fresh growth, I think.
You can't see any trenches or emplacements?
No,
though,
not
right?
from here I can't, no. 861 is right there, so now we've kind of got like a little triangle.
Right.
861, 950, 1015. The runway is running right here, and if you drew a straight line, the runway...
We toured the combat base, but Dennis came here to climb Hill 861, a hill he nearly died on.
861. 861. Yeah. 861? No, it's mine.
Later in the day, I followed Donna Elliott into a Montagnard village just north of the base. The Montagnards are a mountain tribe which inhabit much of Vietnam's Central Highlands. They make a living by farming and scavenging for scrap metal left over from the war. Donna was searching for the village elder and chief. His name was Bruano. He'd once served as a scout for the Marines during the siege. But there was something more to this man. He was half French. It's been rumored that Bruana is the son of Eugene Poulain, a Frenchman who settled in KHE SANH around 1918. Poulain owned a coffee plantation in KHE SANH. Following the fall of Saigon in 1975, Ruana was sent to a re-education camp where he spent 15 years of his life. This man had suffered dearly, and I wondered if he was angry or felt resentment. He turned to our translator and asked her a question. He saw my camera and wanted to send a message. He wanted to send a message to the Marines he'd served with during the war.
Lương tiền tôi có, mấy phái đoàn của ông bà lên thăm tôi rất cảm ơn.
By the way, I have some friends of Bob and Ray's who've come here to visit me, and I'm very grateful for their assistance. Here in Vietnam, I am doing fine, and I miss all of you. I don't know how to render thanks for your assistance, but I can send my voice through this film. I would also like to say thanks to everyone I knew during the war. I miss all of you. Once again, I wish all of you and your families good health, and I pray that God will support you all. I was struck by the fact that after all he'd endured, this man was happy. He was happy for what he had: a roof over his head, food, and a family. Sitting in this hut 10,000 miles from home made me realize how much we all take for granted. We passed out the remaining supplies left over from the orphanage in Hue. It was a kind gesture on our part, but we would pay a price.
There it is. There. We got busted big time. We broke the People's Republic incursion into the border.
About David, that you better not keep them waiting.
Right, we got to go now.
Like we're just their buddies now.
Should I get
Close that down.
I gotta go over there. I think we both do.
Well, go ahead and interview him while I
Passports were taken immediately, and we spent 3 days in Dong Ha under house arrest. They told us we had broken the law. Foreigners were not permitted to consort with the Montagnards. After the second day, I was beginning to worry. Not about our fate, but about the 8 hours of footage I'd already shot. I was worried they would confiscate my tapes and I would never see them again. So I began hiding them under the cushions of a couch on the second floor of the hotel. By the third day, it was over. After much deliberation, 2 liters of whiskey, and the reminder of the trade agreement President Clinton had just signed that same week, we were charged $40 each and free to go.
We made it. We're out of jail. We're free.
The Montagnards are a kind people. They had nothing, and yet they offered us everything. I couldn't understand why the Vietnamese looked down on these people. They referred to them as minorities. I guess racism has no boundaries, even here in Vietnam. Donna had come to this village in hopes of gathering information surrounding her brother's disappearance. But unfortunately, her search would continue.